m'appelle Madame Esther et j'espère que vous allez très bien. Aujourd'hui, nous avons une nouvelle leçon sur le tableau. C'est relater un événement passé. Relater un événement passé. Relater un événement passé. Okay, that's how to recount a past event. But for today, we are going to be looking at a part of this. There are things we are going to look at first before we get to how to recount or tell an event that has passed. For example, you went for your friend's wedding and now you're telling it to another of your friend that was absent. So we're going to look at past tense, how to form past tense in French and their participle. Okay, we'll take that one after the other and then we'll finally get to how to recount an event that has passed. Okay, these for la formation du passé composé on the board, you can see is in bracket. La formation du passé composé. I take that again. La formation du passé composé. That's how to form passé composé. That's how to form past tense in French. Now, you know already that you cannot talk about an event that has passed without using past tense. So, we are going to look at how to form this past tense in French, and then we later on we'll know how to use them. Do you understand? Okay, so we're going to be looking at what this passé composé is in French or in English. So passé composé here refers to the perfect tense in English. I take that again. Passé composé, this is passé composé. Refers to perfect tense in English. Okay, this passé composé, which is perfect tense in English, consists of two things. Number one, okay, let me write. So, I say that the perfect tense here is known in French as the passé composé that we are talking about today. So, in other words, passé composé is the perfect tense in English. Now, this perfect tense is this perfect tense, which is passé composé, consists of two parts. As you can see here, we have number one, the auxiliary verb. The auxiliary verb, which is also known as the helping verb. Which is avoir in the majority of verbs, and the être with a dozen of common or irregular verbs and all reflexive verbs. So I'm going to explain this again. This perfect tense or passé composé in French is has to do with two things. It has to do with two things. The first one is the auxiliary verb, which is also known as the helping verb. Now, this helping verb has to do with avoir and être in the present tense, conjugated in the present tense. Alright, now, this avoir has to do with so many verbs. So many verbs take on avoir in the past tense. For être, we have few of them. Just about a dozen, and then most of them are common verbs and reflexive verbs. Now, when I say être or avoir, this is avoir. This is avoir, which is to have. And I said it must be conjugated in the present tense. So we're going to have this J, and we have two A. And then we have il, ou, elle, a, and nous. you go on and on and on. For the hetero, you have hetero also in the present tense. You have hetero in the present tense. Means to be, conjugate all in the present tense. Now this is what I mean. If you now you are talking about the auxiliary. These are the auxiliary verbs I just mentioned here, hetero and avoir, conjugated in the present tense. Now the second part of this passé composé is the past participle, which in the case of regular verb is always related to the infinitive. You remember one of the topics we treated before now, we said infinitive is the ending. So you can also say it's infinitive ending. Example, if you have a verb like danser, this is the stem and this is the infinitive. Alright, that's what I mean. So it's always related to the infinitive. Example, okay, but if it is for the case where it is irregular verbs, they have different endings, so you have to spot them and memorize them the way they are. So the time we're going to look at those irregular verbs that have different endings that need to be memorized. Now, an example of what I just said there is J danser. Now, I underline this and underline this. This is the auxiliary verb and this is the past participle. Therefore, another verb here, you have the verb that takes on hetero. This is the verb that takes on avoir. So you know that for hetero is Jss3 for present tense conjugation. Then for avoir is J for present tense conjugation. Even if you have to talk about tu, il, elle, you have to say that in the present tense form. And now this is Jss3, and I've underlined Jss3, meaning that suis here is the auxiliary verb, and this is a past participle. That's the I that I just underlined here. So let's having looked at this, we now say that passé composé is formed with hetero of or avoir plus past participle. Alright, let's look at that on the board. So having looked at all this, I say passé composé is formed with avoir or hetero plus participe passé. So far we have looked at these avoir or hetero, and I said it's going to be, it is always in the present tense. It's conjugated in the present tense. Now, since it is avoir or hetero, I also said most regular verbs take on, most verbs, majority of verbs take on avoir as their auxiliary verb, and few, a dozen of common or regular verbs take on hetero. And I say the time we're going to be looking at those verbs that take on hetero. Now on the board, we have avoir or hetero plus participe passé. Okay, let's look at what the participe passé is all about for the three main group of verbs, which are the ER verbs and the IR verbs and then the RE verbs. Now, number one, the perfect tense of regular verbs for ER verbs. The perfect tense of regular ER verbs always end in E. E with accent on top there. Okay. E accent aigu. This new perfect tense past participle takes on or replaces the ER, which is the infinitive of that verb. Okay, let's look at the example to have a clearer picture of what I'm trying to say here. We have trouver, and here is the infinitive, here in the is the participe passé. So now the E accent aigu here replaces the ER, which is the infinitive ending of the verb trouver. We have another example, chanter, and then this is infinitive, and then this is the participle passé. Now, don't forget, when you are talking about this passé composé, you have already conjugated either avoir or être before you have this verb next to it. So if I want to say j'ai trouvé or j'ai chanté, or in the past tense passé composé, I say j'ai trouvé or j'ai chanté. So I've now added the auxiliary verb to this main verb. I don't want and here in number 2 we have the perfect tense of regular IR verb. You know we have 3 main regular group of verbs. You have the second one here is IR verb. So the perfect tense of regular IR verbs always end in E. This is it, I in English. Alright, this replaces the infinitive, just like what I explained above there for ER verbs. Now the example here is choisir. You know here is an IR verb. Finir, IR verb. Now for passé composé, it is going to be j'ai choisi. This is the I now, which is the participle passé. The same thing goes for the verb that ends with re, that ends in re. So now these verbs that fall under this group re. They take their participle passé is ending in u, like you can see here, u. Now this u replaces the re, which is the infinitive. Now the example here we have vendre. Now if you want to use it as passé composé, you now have j'ai vendu. J'ai vendu. So now the infinitive here is replaced with u for passé composé. So now this is the full verb, the infinitive verb, and this is the participle passé of that verb. Now let's not forget that the formation, like I said, the formation of this passé composé has to do with avoir, être, and participle passé. So having looked at the different endings for the regular ER verbs, IR verbs, RE verbs, their different endings, and having known that these verbs take on either avoir or être, most of them take on avoir. All the verbs listed here, they take on avoir as their auxiliary verb. Okay, so now we come to the end of today's class. Before I do that, I have to do this all over again for better understanding. We're talking about how to relate an event that has passed to someone else. You went for a program and you are being asked what happened there, how did it go? How do you say all this? So I said, first of all, we're going to look at how to form passé composé. And what is this passé composé in English? So I said passé composé is known in English as perfect tense. And this perfect tense, which is passé composé in French, has 2 things to deal with. It consists of 2 things. The first one is the auxiliary verb. And I said the auxiliary verb here take on avoir or être. Most of these verbs have avoir as their auxiliary verb. Or their helping verb. Now, the other ones take on être. If I give you an example, it's mostly verbs like outing verbs, like going out, like sortir. I think I gave an example here. Sortir. So je suis here is from être. So with time you're going to know all those verbs, or most of those verbs that take on être as their helping verb or auxiliary verb. I also said that the second one, the second part of this perfect tense, passé composé in French, is the past participle. So we haven't looked at the past auxiliary verbs, which is avoir or être in the present tense, conjugated in the present tense. We also looked at the participe passé of the three main group of verbs, which are the ER verb. I said the ER verb, the ending or the participe passé of ER verb is E, asante here, like you can see here. And then we have the perfect tense of regular IR verb to be I. Here, they replace the infinitive, which is IR. Now, for the RE verb, we have you as the participe passé. And we also have example here, vendre and vendu. So, j'ai vendu, vendre is the verb, the full verb, vendu is now the participe passé, which is you, ending with you. So you now say j'ai vendu, you have vendre, then you have vendu. So, having looked at all this, I'll say we have come to the first part of this lesson, and in the next class we'll look at more things, and then to how to really relate a past event to another person, and then we will look at an assignment for this lesson. So for now, I'll have to say goodbye and see you soon. Au revoir.